Is that okay?
Hello, humans.
What happened?
I'm just saying hello because I believe we are live.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
What is up, everybody? How y'all doing? Bow, 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 bow. We are here today to just welcome everybody to the Freedom All concert teaching. And we just wanted to make sure that y'all were getting rested, feeling good, maybe grabbing a snack so you could enjoy the program the whole way through. Before we get started, we just wanted to put a little plug out. We wanted to let you know that there is a Spanish language line. Hay una línea que es específicamente para los hispanohablantes. And we wanted to thank Sam Guzman from the Community Language Cooperative Direct because they are going to be able to translate en español. Así que si no entienden lo que andamos diciendo en inglés, por favor, vayan a la página de Facebook, go to the Facebook page, and under the comments, there's going to be the interpretation number. Y el número es 425-436-6337. Nuevamente, ese número es el 425-436-6337. And the access code is going to be 755552. And then you're going to have to put that pound sign. Hashtag, as the kids would say.
Pero todo eso lo pueden encontrar en la página de Facebook. You can find all of that on the Facebook page. Again, thank you so much to the Community Language Co-op. Y'all are awesome. And now we're going to sort of get started. So if you're just hopping on, you're at the right place. This is the virtual concert and teach-in, a world with everyone at the table. And we're going to pass it over to Jordan to get us started. And I will say that in a world without cages, Jordan Garcia would be the master beekeeper.
Master beekeeper.
Of all the community hives.
All the community hives. Not just one of them, all of them.
Jordan, you're on mute, friend.
Thank you so much for this wonderful welcome. I'm happy to get started with my beekeeping right away. So we're going to live in that world without cages very soon. I want to take a moment to do a land acknowledgement and just say that together today we're gathered here. And I want to acknowledge that we are on the unceded homeland of the Arapaho, Cheyenne, Ute, and Sioux people. And with the original stewards of this land and this territory, we are committed to uplifting the name of these lands and the community members from these nations who reside alongside us. So if you, as you're watching on Facebook right now, if you want to pop into the comments where you are watching from, if you're in other parts of the country, we're happy to hear where you're from. And I'm just gonna share a couple of words and then I'm gonna turn it back over to Tanya and Alejandro. So instead of trying to fix the system of incarceration that we have, it is time for us to build something new. Everyone deserves dignity and justice, but in the United States, 2.3 million people are locked away in prisons, jails, and detention centers because of racist law enforcement and a legal system whose only solution is violence and confinement. So during a pandemic, the dangers of incarceration multiply exponentially, and COVID-19 makes every cell and every cage a potential death chamber. But people across the country are organizing under the call to free them all. It's my t-shirt. We are working to get as many community members out of prisons, jails, and immigration and juvenile detention centers as possible and abolish these carceral facilities once and for all. Now, I know that the idea of abolishing prisons can seem scary. We live in a society where we're repeatedly being told that incarceration and law enforcement protect us. But if incarceration stopped violence, the United States would be the most peaceful country in the world. Instead of trying to fix the systems of incarceration that we have, it's time for us to build something new. Incarceration doesn't keep us safe, but there are ways that we can help create healthy, thriving communities. Here are just a few ideas that people are already working on to make a reality. Transformative and restorative justice to deal with harm, grounded in the needs of those harmed in their communities, and those look to root causes and personal accountability to prevent future harm. Mediation and conflict resolution skills can be learned. We can all share these skills to resolve conflict. Young people can be supported and criminalized in this process. Not criminalized. People's basic needs are met when everyone has access to housing, healthcare, education, healthy food, employment, environmental protections. These are all things that communities need to thrive. Strong emergency response systems that don't involve the police. In a crisis, skilled response teams can quickly be on the scene to help find solutions and keep everyone safe. While we won't be able to dismantle our carceral system overnight, there are a few concrete steps we can take to move us in the right direction. We can enact policies that shrink the system. We can advocate for legislation that puts caps on sentencing lengths and expands avenues for release. We can end the use of bail and detainers, repeal unjust immigration laws, stop police-ICE collaboration, and get police out of schools. We can literally shrink the budget. We can defund ICE. We can defund Border Patrol, police, jails, prisons, and we can use that money to invest in programs and services that benefit everyone. Right now, we need to protect the life and the health of those who are in cages. While we work towards abolition, we can't forget that there are millions behind bars right now. It is critical that we support them in improving their conditions and safeguarding their rights and health. No one belongs in a cage. Everyone deserves to have their rights and dignity respected, no matter where they came from or what they've been accused of. Everyone should have the opportunity to rejoin their community. Prisons and detention centers aren't just amplifiers of a public health crisis. They are a public health crisis. It's time for us to envision something better. It's time to free them all. So I want to just say that I'm so excited to have two of my favorite. Oh, well, first I want to say, if you have things that you want to add to your vision, please put them in the comments throughout this night. And I also want to say that I'm one of 3 staff at the American Friends Service Committee, and my colleagues, Jennifer Piper and Gabriela Flora, make coming to work every day just a little bit better. And if you'd like to support our work, you can by following the link in the comments. Your support makes our work possible, and you can buy one of these T-shirts on our website as well, and we have face masks too. So I'm really happy to introduce our 2 MCs this evening who are going to guide us through this beautiful evening, Tanya Chairez and Alejandro Fuentes Mena. Tanya is an undocumented immigrant born in Chihuahua, Mexico, raised in Phoenix, Arizona. She received her bachelor's from the Wharton School of Business at the University of Pennsylvania and her master's in education from the Grand Canyon University. For the past decade, Tanya has prioritized her passion for the intersection of immigration and education and recently founded a nonprofit to support immigrant youth. Tanya is the executive director of Conviver Colorado and the National Outreach and Education Director for Modus Theater. And she is joined by Alejandro Fuentes Mena, who was born in Valparaiso, Chile, and grew up in San Diego, California. After the age of 4, he received his bachelor's in psychology from Whitman College in Walla Walla, Washington, and is currently getting his master's in education leadership at the High-Tech High GSE. Through Teach for America, Alejandro was one of the first 2 documented teachers in the entire nation. After 7 years of teaching, he is launching an arts integrated school in the far northeast named Radical Arts Academy of Denver. So thank you so much for being our guides this evening.
Thank you, Jordan. We're so excited to be here, y'all. Again, I am so excited to envision this amazing new world. Primeramente, quiero decirles que si necesitan interpretación para el español, wow, hasta me salió todo mal. Pueden visitar a la página de Facebook para encontrar el número en español. If you need Spanish interpretation, please go to the Facebook page to look for the number. We're starting off the night actually with two incredible immigrants representing Convivir, Colorado. First off is Kinara Andreas, who migrated from Indonesia. She's a student at CU Denver and a member of Convivir's Youth Leadership Council. She will be followed by Alejandro, who, as Jordan mentioned, will be starting his own arts integrated school in the far northeast of Denver. And just so you know, in a world without cages, Kinara would definitely be a psychologist, guiding everyone to optimal joy. And Alejandro here would be stirring up a dance party at every moment's turn. So as you each begin, please answer, what does a world without cages look like or mean to you?
A world without cages would mean I am a human being. Born in Indonesia, raised in America, yet I still cannot find a place to call home. A world without cages could look like love, not the fuzzy feeling, but the unconditional and selfless one. Cages are barriers to love, and detention centers are broken relationships. We need a world without them. A world without cages could look like forgiveness. I spent 76 days in a cell, pitying my own loneliness. Was I being punished? I stopped myself. No, don't think that. Anger, confusion, doubt, and insecurities. I've been isolated by cell walls that were built to hold grudges. A world without cages would have 42,188 immigrants be together with their families by now. I think I can see it better. A world without cages would look like music. Every person learns to harmonize into one beautiful song. We celebrate differences and cherish diversity. Life's experiences were never meant to be caged. A world without cages would look like restoration. And I want this world. I want it to be our reality. But I am also scared that I might one day let go of this vision because I've experienced a world with the cages for way too long.
What up, everybody? For me, a world without cages would look like freedom, just freedom fully thought out and lived out. And I wanted to share a little piece of something I wrote for y'all. The truth of the fact is that I lived and I live in a world without cages. That is the ignorance I lived in until reality overtook my idealistic nature. You see, I grew up in a household of mostly undocumented beings who taught me to hold steadfast unto God and nothing would ever go wrong. No matter the trials and tribulations, God has my back. And for the longest while, that's all the belief it took. After all, not only was I able to stay out of jail and away from the death that sometimes plagued the neighborhoods that I grew up in, but I was able to thrive and become an educator. I was the example. I am the example. If I could do it, anyone could, right? I had the right people, the right opportunities, the right bliss, the right hope, the right ignorance. If I can do it, you can too. I went into teaching with the same ideals. I preached it. If I can do it, you can too. If I can do it, you can too. If I can do it, you can too. Meanwhile, friends and family who I grew up with were being detained, imprisoned, deported. If I can do it, you can too. All you have to do is follow the law. Meanwhile, running a stoplight led to a deportation here. If I can do it, you can too. And it's okay as long as you don't get caught while another individual got arrested for possession here. of something that is becoming more and more legal throughout the nation. If I can do it, you can too. If I can do it, you can too. If I can do it, you can too. You see, everyone deserves the world that my parents and community helped create for me. There is still truth to that statement because I am living it, and everyone should too. I do live in a world without cages, where I see my students grow academically and socially, and my hope begins to flow, where my dreams for building something new are not hindered but supported, where I share my ideas and with community to new levels, they are transported, where music guides my life and art is the correct answer, where my moves across the systems make me look like a natural dancer, where I get to build a school with creative thinkers as our goal. Because the answers yet to be found are only missing but a little soul. Our futures are at stake. Our freedoms are within our grasp. It's time to fight alongside us and get rid of the chains that bind us and have us in their clasp. If I can do it, you can too. If you can do it, we can too. It's up to you. It's up to me. It's up to us. Free them all. Free them all. Free them all. La meta en la cual nos embarcamos, yo, it requires all of us. So get yourself together, hand in hand, because with it, it also takes a lot of guts. We're going to do it together. So say it with me. If we can do it, you can too. If we can do it, you can too. If we can do it, you can too.
Woo! This is a little strange because I get to be like, hey, you did awesome, and you're sitting right next to me. But thank you so much to Alejandro and to Kinata for your wonderful poetry. And up next, we have Sophia Clark from Let Them Roar. Their band believes that music has the power to connect, heal, and inspire. They're a band in service to this power in a way that builds bridges, not walls, with a desire to cultivate meaningful community.
And we were talking about this, and I think we decided is that in a world without cages, Sophia and her band are most likely to be like paleteros, you know, walking from street to street, offering relief from the hot sun and connection through the means of sweet and fruity, made from scratch, probably paletas, and then that all happens between strangers. And that's what we thought would be the ideal role for you, Sophia, and Let Them Roar. But before you begin, would you mind answering, what does a world without cages look like or mean to you?
Well, first of all, I would love to fulfill that role that you all just imagined. And for me, a world without cages means that nobody is worth more and nobody is worth less. And that is the principle upon which our policies are made, our economies are made, and how our governments operate. So that interconnectedness and well-being are at the heart of everything. I'm going to play a couple of songs. This first song is by Ola Belle Reed, who was a folk musician and songwriter who was born in 1916, and she wrote a lot of music about poor and working class struggles and experiences and social justice. Sunday morning, suns are shining, flowers blooming everywhere, a soft wind's blowing, birds are singing, whispering a message in the air. If I could have one wish and know that it would come true, well, I wish that God would give us strength to know just what to do, that we could tear down the fences that fence us all in. Fences created by such evil men, and we could tear down the fences that fence us all in. Then we could walk together again. Sunday morning, a dark cloud's rising, there's no sunshine anywhere, harsh winds blowing, God give us wisdom to catch the message in the air. If I could have one wish and know that it would come true, well, I wish that God would give us strength to know just what to do, that we could tear down the fences that fence us all in. Fences created by such evil men, and we could tear down the fences that fence us all in. Then we could walk together again. And then we could walk together again. Thank you. Also, I should have said the poets and everyone who's spoken so far has been so inspiring, and it's really an honor to be with y'all. I have one more song, which is a song that I wrote with the band I play in, Luck and Roar. A dear friend of mine was in Sanctuary for about a year, and most of the words of this song come from conversations that she and I had about what she was going through and the fight for justice, and how believing in what's possible is worth it. So this song is called I See My Light. Give me 1 second though. I see my light shining. I see my light, I see my light come shining, shining on down, down. I see my light, I see my light come shining on, shining on down, I believe in life. I took it daily like a pill. I shook myself inside. You came to know my will. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Walking tall, I heed the call. My choice is bravery. Until there are no border walls, my heart will set me free. Walking tall, I feel the call. These ghosts are here for me. All the ones who fought before and will come after me. Sacred is my time, my life to claim as mine. Freedom I am due, because I am alive. My I see my light, I see my light come shining on, shining on down, down. I see my light, I see my light come shining on, shining on down, down. Shining on down.
Woo! That was beautiful, hermoso, amazing. Thank you so much for gracing us with the beauty of your song and the messages that were behind it. We really, really appreciate it. Up next, we would like to introduce to you. Wait, we need to do this first. Only because I want to speak in Spanish. Si usted es una persona que habla español y necesita interpretación, por favor vaya a la página de Facebook y ahí va a poder acceder al número donde puede agarrar interpretación en español para que pueda entender el programa por completo. Ahí le va a dar todas las instrucciones. But up next, we have Elizabeth Epps, a leader in the prison abolitionist movement, a Bell activist, organizer, a former public defender. What else is she?
She's got so many things on her bio. She is a co-director of the Denver Justice Project and a founder of the Colorado Freedom Fund and Smart Justice organizer of the Colorado ACLU.
And she was featured on the cover of Colorado's 5280 magazine as one of the disruptors most shaping Denver. This woman is amazing. Like we had to cut this down because I'm pretty sure there were like 3 to 4 pages of just like how amazing Elizabeth Epps is.
And you must know that in a world without cages,
yes,
she would probably continue to be a justice crusader looking to fight the next fight, knowing that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
And Elizabeth, before you begin, would you mind answering the question, what does a world without cages look like or mean to you?
Thank you, friends. Indeed, free them all. You ask, and you've spoken about a world without cages. You asked what a world without cages would look like. And I want to thank you, Jordan, for the land acknowledgement, because I think that actually I know that a world without cages, it would look an awful lot like what this land looked like. This land where the Arapaho lived and loved and cultivated and sowed and reaped. A world without cages would look a lot like what this land looked like before colonizers and genocidal slavers arrived. You said a lot of kind things about me, and I appreciate them very much. If I were less brown, I'd blush more, but my core, I'm an abolitionist, and I am an organizer with ACLU, and I co-direct the Colorado Freedom Fund, which the CFF, the Colorado Freedom Fund, exists to work for liberation through legislation, through litigation, and through the direct action of paying bail, all through an abolitionist lens. And we work each day thinking about what that world without cages looks like, right? So our daily work, that of paying ransom, what the state calls bail or bond, to get our folks free from cages. This ransom, of course, it exists at the criminal legal stage, and also, of course, at immigration prisons. And I'm thinking about this today because surely many of you know, abolition is at its core is an act of creation. Abolition is an act of building, and so Black and brown and Indigenous abolitionists, particularly Black and brown and Indigenous queer women abolitionists, have taught us these lessons for generations, right? And when we talk about abolition, about abolishing police, I want to be clear that we aren't suggesting abolishing support, right? We're not suggesting abolishing resources and support. To the contrary, in a world without cages, and in our conversations about abolition, you will often hear folks talk about alternatives to policing. So I want to suggest in our few minutes together that while some situations may indeed need alternatives to policing, others need no alternatives at all, right? So traffic enforcement does not need to be done by armed and armored police folks. That can be done by civilians. That can be done by alternative. Folks who've experienced, like I have and like others in this space have, who've experienced intimate partner violence. We need alternatives to policing, right? As I've told folks often, as a survivor, I don't come to abolition despite my being a survivor, but indeed because of it. That needs an alternative to policing. But then, y'all, there's this other category of instances that don't need alternatives at all, right? And so in the immigration context, immigration prisons, we don't need a police-based alternative to that at all, right? When people cross these borders, separate conversation on the borders being racist, we don't need alternative form of caging. We don't need home detention. There's something particularly poignant and sad and deeply offensive about being in this land, in where I am in this very moment, this Arapaho land, and suggesting that the absence of colonizer-based papers is something that requires policing or that requires an alternative at all. So I appreciate the question. You said to start with it, but it's really the only thing I wanted to talk about in our time together tonight. When we think about this world without cages, it's important that we interrogate, right, where there are a need for alternatives, that sometimes the alternative is nothing at all. And we can love each other and support each other without we don't need kinder, gentler immigration prisons. We don't need ankle shackles tracking movements of people who are here for sanctuary or for refuge or for economic distress or to be with family. Instead, we need to be free to protect each other and to love each other. So as an abolitionist, as an organizer, as someone who is really honored to be in this space, I thank you, and I would suggest that world without cages that we're working towards, it's already existed. So we're imagining something new, but we can also do that while calling back to what has already existed in this space. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your words of inspiration. Thank you.
Thank you.
I like watching everyone's hands. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Again, a reminder, si usted necesita interpretación para el español, por favor visite la página del Face o puede buscar en los comentarios el número y toda la información para llegar a escuchar este programa en español.
And our next performance is a collaboration between Carrie Joy and Such. Carrie is currently the co-executive director of Kaleidoscope Project, the co-host of the SIP podcast, and co-writer of the Denver Department of Peacekeeping Services to effectively abolish the Denver police. I wanted to say something inappropriate, but let's get rid of the police. Faux show.
Such shares the journey of growing up as the daughter of Haitian immigrants in her new album, Wide Nose, Full Lips, as an unapologetic love letter to Blackness.
In a world without cages, Carrie would probably be the editor-in-chief.
Probably.
Ensuring that we are delivered with the right news and medicine to feed our minds and souls.
And Such would be our orator, speaking truth and beauty into our existence and continued desire for love of self.
And before you both begin, would you mind answering the question, what does a world without cages look like or mean to you?
Thank you guys so much for even giving me the opportunity to answer that question and to be a part of this. Both Such and I are children of immigrants. I'm a child of Jamaican immigrants and extremely proud. And to me, a world without cages looks like a world full of beautiful open space, full of vegetation, where I can walk down the street and pick fruit from a tree and honor the land in a reciprocal relationship of caring for her as she cares for me. It gives us space for that. It gives us freedom for that. A world without cages to me is full of laughter, joy, communication, and hard conversations that lead to restoration and not incarceration. It looks like heaven on earth to me, and I think that we can build that today. So thank y'all so much.
Watch these tears fall down, resurrect the ground. Ashes to generations claiming the sun. What I've become, you can't hold me now. Watch these tears fall down, resurrect the ground. Ashes to generations claiming the sun. What I've become, you can't hold me now. Mama once told me, baby, you can be anything you wanna be, but black feels lonely. Yo, America, you lonely. So I don't stop if they're free. And I probably shouldn't hold my breath, but my people them can't breathe. You see, we are one out of many. So take notes, this is how God's handle things. Jump invisible borders cause we deserve peace. All lands, white men, so their humanity. So casually, I remind you I am holy. That these walls hold the bodies with these melodies. Call it vibrations, prayers, so my soul speaks. Awakening my people to defend me. Avenge me. Watch these tears fall down. Resurrect the ground. Ashes to generations claiming the sun. What I've become, you can't hold me now. Yeah. This is voodoo and intercession. Olympia's an intuition. This is ancestral medicine. A thorn that eagle feathers and peppermint. Or maybe this is an intervention. I hear freedom rings when we answer. Cage birds sing, imagine harmonies released with their wings, y'all. It could be heaven. It could be so simple. I know we rather make it hard. I know we rather ask for patience and forgiveness than for courage. No, we rather hold power so we can settle this race. I know we rather my thoughts and prayers to make change. I know one day we'll fly away, whole glory. I know one day we'll fly away, but we can't rest till that day meets today. My soul cries freedom, and you know we can't wait. Watch these tears fall down. Resurrect the ground. Ashes to generations claiming the sun. What I've become, you can't hold me now. Sing it to me, son. Watch these tears fall down. Resurrect the ground. Ashes to generations claiming the sun. What I've become, you can't hold me now. fall down. Watch these tears resurrect the ground. Ashes to generations claiming the sun. What I become, you can't hold me now. You can't hold me now. Watch these tears fall down. Resurrect the ground. Ashes to generations claiming the sun. What I become, you can't hold me now.
Wow. Oh, that was beautiful,
Thank
Carrie.
you so much, Carrie Joy
Thank you.
and Such. Thank you so much.
Blessings.
Yeah, I think it's so powerful. Even that line in the chorus, like the idea of like our tears that we have shed and everything that we do are the things that are resurrecting the ground that in which we are in, which I found extremely beautiful. So thank you for bringing that powerful message through.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. Blessings, y'all.
Blessings.
Blessings. So now, again, si necesita interpretación el español, por favor visite la página del Facebook donde puede encontrar el número y todas las instrucciones.
Sí. Me gusta decir el número porque suena como un telecaster, ¿no? 425-436-6337, just in case.
He just likes to make that sound.
Yeah, it's. I think it makes things way more entertaining. And Mama, you got somebody from your hood coming up.
I do.
Raúl
so
Medina.
Up next, we have Raúl Medina, who was born in Chihuahua.
Chihuahua.
That is also where I'm from. And he came to the United States at the age of 5 and has since lived in Colorado.
After spending 11 months inside the Gio Aurora detention facility fighting his own immigration case, Raúl started raising awareness around the cruel and inhumane living conditions that privatized federal facilities are allowed to host without any repercussions.
So what do we think Raúl would be in a world without cages?
In a world without cages, I think Raúl would be the literal and figurative sun.
El sol.
El sol. He would be illuminating us to all the realities of his lived experiences while simultaneously bringing us hope and the will to fight on.
Beautiful. So before you begin, can you please go ahead and answer, what does a world without cages look like or mean to you?
Thank you guys for that amazing introduction. I'm over here blushing now. You know, a world without cages, it's literally for me like what it means to me, you know, it's a human. I am the definition of that, of, you know, a system that, you know, we've kind of bent over for a long time. And, you know, I was in there for 11 months, as you had stated, and I was released about a little over 5 months ago, and, you know, I'm standing here, I'm strong, I'm with my community, I'm with my family, I'm able to, you know, fight my immigration case from out here. And, you know, I think that a lot of the times we focus on everything that's happening in the world, and we forget about the people that are currently, you know, detained. And I met a lot of great people that deserve to be out here, that deserve to be with family, that deserve to be with community, that deserve to have a life. You know, and that's what a world without cages, you know, means to me, is having a life and being able to have a life with choices and free of cages. But yeah, I you know, wanted to talk a little bit about, you know, everything that's happening with COPA. That's who I work with, Colorado People's Alliance, and, you know, all the great work that we're doing for this to be able to happen. Like I stated before, I was inside of the Aurora Geo detention facility for 11 months, and upon my release, I figured out that, you know, a lot of our community is very afraid to speak out, to use their voices in a world without cages, we wouldn't be afraid to do that. We would be able to come into community and use our voices to uplift everybody in our community, to have, just justice for everybody, and be able to live a life without fear, And I think that sometimes that's what we forget is, well, we are here at home, including myself, we have a long way to go, and the only way to get there is by, raising our voices and, speaking out about these issues, so we can get to a place that is free of cages. I get to see my family every day. I get to hug my mom every day. I get to see my nieces, and that's something that, a world without cages would host for every single human. We would be able to, walk together and move together and get to where we need to get, to a more beautiful place together. I think that that's one of the most important things, is that we are all humans, and nobody deserves to be in a cage. Nobody deserves to be, locked up or, forgotten about. Everybody deserves to have that love, to have that touch, to have that, free will to make their own choices of where they want to go or what they want to do, who they want to love and who they don't. And that's what a world without cages really means to me.
Woo! Thank you.
Thank you so much for the thoughtful response and the reality of everything that exists. It's true that when people don't think about when people are separated, what that means, the literal physical touch of being able to hold on to the people that you care most deeply about, like Tanya is with my bald head right now. Yeah, that's not possible. And it's amazing that you were able to come out of that, and not only that you were able to come out of that, but that you used it as a means to egg your fight on. And so thank you so much, Raul, for the work that you're doing alongside the Colorado People's Alliance and in your own life as well.
Awesome. Up next, we're moving on. Do you want to say the words in Spanish this time?
Yes, I do. Si usted es una persona que habla español, por favor, vaya al número de interpretación que está en la página de Facebook, pero me gusta decirlo en voz alta, así que si no lo saben es 425-436-6337, access code 755-552
Parecemos
pounds.
comercial. We sound like a commercial.
Yeah, and I think that's okay, because I mean, what are we here for? We're the MCs. We're trying to provide some entertainment while you're getting some beautiful, just like art from all over the place.
And we're super excited to introduce the next human. Up next is Emmy-nominated poet, TEDx speaker and performer, and youth educator. These are just such a few of the titles that Alejandro Jimenez has managed to secure during his time here in the U.S.
Yeah, my tocayo Alejandro, he was once an undocumented immigrant like me, and Jimenez has become an advocate for social justice through the use of his blazing words. He just spits out fire,
And in a world without cages, he would, of course, be a master taquero.
Master taquero, tacos all around.
Tacos everywhere.
But you know why, though? Because he's providing the spiritual and physical tacos that we need for all of our different tastes, our desires, our wants, and our needs.
Yes, beautiful.
And before you begin, Tocayo Alejandro, would you mind answering the question, what does a world without cages look like or mean to you?
Awesome. Thank you for the introduction. I was like, ¿qué van a poner estos en el mundo sin cárceles y sin detenciones y todo eso, sin jaulas? Taquero, I was like, that's what's up. That's what's up. Tacos vegetal, tortillas recién hechas, chile molcajete y todo el pedo, So a world without cages for me looks like in two ways. One, I don't have to talk to students about the prison to school pipeline, and that we don't have to look at third grade test scores to figure out how many beds we're going to need in the future in prisons, right? That's one. And two, also. A place without cages for me looks like a place where we don't have to use our joy, our poetry, our music, our art as a weapon to defend our humanity. That's what it looks like for me. I want to read two poems for you all today. They're going to go right into each other. I think you'll be able to notice when the other one starts. The first one I'm going to read is called If the Brown Body. And the second one that I'm going to read, I'm going to go straight into it, like I said, just for purposes of time. It's an excerpt of a longer piece of work titled How the Women in My Family Dance. I'm going to read an excerpt of about my mother and dancing and what that means when I see her dance, right? But here's the first one. If the brown body dances, or does not like to dance, or does not know how to dance, or is bad at dancing, if the brown body assimilates, or wants a revolution, or calls itself Hispanic, American, brown, indigenous, detribalized, black, refugee, if the brown body lives a hyphenated existence, lives at the intersections, and deviates to give new meanings and create and births new worlds, if the brown body is femme or marimacha or gay, lesbian, trans, multi-spirit, straight, crooked, pansexual, asexual, has no gender, has no binary, if the brown body quivers before, during, or after orgasm, or if it has never had an orgasm, if the brown body denies itself, or is fat, or is skinny from feasting on loving itself and from celebrating all the quinces, all the 21st birthday parties, all the births and bautismos, and from toasting with all the drunk tios, and from dancing cumbia with all the tias, and from singing off key in the middle of the night, if the brown body cries, if the brown body suffers, if the brown body calls itself a shrine, if the brown body is not seen as worthy, is neglected, is deprived of light, of sage, of sweet grass, of ceremony, becomes ill, spirit wanders, becomes a picture on our altar, becomes a memory we toast to with our tears, becomes ash we sift through in search of wings. If the brown body has no papers, exists where it is not wanted, speaks broken English, speaks broken whatever language is the mother tongue, is deported, is detained, is trafficked, is wronged, is silenced, if the brown body disappears, if the brown body reappears, if the brown body gains power, gets its seat at the table, and it is still denigrated and vilified, or sells out, or sells us out, if the brown body has no mother or homeland, and their father became a ghost, if the brown body is raised by weather hands, weary from making miracles out of thin air, if the brown body is afraid to bury those hands or its own hands, brown body, let us mourn, let us grieve, let us rejoice. After all of this, let us remake ourselves. My mother was dancing so fast one time that she fell. Her feet could not keep up with her happiness, so they asked her to slow down. But she dances like my great-grandmother, with the urgency of a revolt waiting at the brim of her feet. She dances with the same audacity she had when she crossed the border. Like nothing will get in her way to get to where she is going. Ask El Rio Grande if she has ever let any wall get in her way. She is an immaculate sight dancing, an alchemist turning any floor she dances on into her new home. When my mother dances, her feet land so hard on the floor that I know my great-grandmother somewhere in the ground, rattling the bottom of her casket with her feet, praising that's the girl that I raised. When my mother dances, she is a full-body mantra, too joyous for her tongue to be silent. She opens her mouth, points it towards the heaven and yells, opens her arms, inviting the musicians to play faster, and she yells again, tucks her hair behind her ear, bites her lip, and blesses the ground with her presence. My mother has worked and toiled since she was a little girl. She hasn't had very many days off, except For the day after my cousin's quinceañera, she woke up and complained in pain. She said, "My feet, they hurt from dancing. I will rest today." She sat in the chair, iced water in the cup, sipping and laughing about the night before, complaining that it was such a shame that La Banda had to stop playing at 3 in the morning. The happiest I've seen my mother was that moment when she got up after she fell. She dusted herself, laughed, and without missing a beat, she continued dancing. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful night.
Woo!
Yeah. Beautiful.
Definitely
amazing.
fire with your tacos and your voice.
Yeah. I'm amazed by the images that you're able to bring out, even with the simple act of dancing that both your mother and your grandmother did, and the power that is behind it. It amazes me. I think I've heard you maybe once or two other times, Alejandro, and every time I'm just like, wow, I can literally see them dancing. There is so much beauty in that. So thank you so much, Alejandro.
Thank you. And now, again, si necesita interpretación al español, por favor encuentre el número abajo de la página del Facebook o en los comentarios. Thank you so much to the Language Cooperative helping us with translation today. I know some of us are speaking real fast, so we appreciate you.
Yeah. Also, in the comments, feel free. I see a lot of people are interacting. Feel free to interact, give people props, our artists props for the great work that they're bringing forth. And also, if you want to just go ahead and every time that we ask the question of what does a world without cages look like or mean to you, feel free to put that into the chat as well.
Tell us what it means to you. We want to create it, be a collective, cohesive vision of the future.
Exactly. And right now we have Rick Urrutia, who's going to be representing the Pink Hawks. And what you should know about the Pink Hawks, other than the fact that I was in it at one point in the time when I was in Colorado, is that the Pink Hawks are comprised of ample world musicianship, garnering comparison to sonic innovators such as Fela Kuti's Afrobeat, Mulatu Astatke's Ethiopics jazz, Sun Ra's melodic off-the-rails piano wailing, and the languid, sonically adventurous atmospheres of Yo La Tengo. This is according to Tom Murphy from Westward. But in other words, what does it mean?
What you're actually here is a fusion of music filled with lots of rhythms and beats from all types of cultures. So get ready to put on your dancing pants and join Pink Hawks and Rick as they set the floor on fire.
And here is what we thought about Rick. If we were talking about a world without cages, Rick would not be Rick. He would be addressed as Mr. Urrutia. And you better get that right. Urrutia in the middle. And
because he would do dissertations on the meaning of joy.
And he would also be laying down some fat bass beats for us to enjoy and groove to and march to as we're getting ready for the revolution.
So as you begin, please share with us, what does a world without cages look like or mean to you?
Y'all cracked me up. I did not see that one coming. That's really funny. You know, Piper asked me a little earlier today what a world without cages would look like to me. And, you know, it was a lot earlier than the day. And I was like, all right, I'll just chew on that. You know, no big deal. And I've been chewing on it all day and chewing on it all day. And I still can't wrap my head around it. What an exhilarating, liberating thought. A world without cages. What a huge leap forward for humanity. A world without cages. What a blow to tyranny, what a blow to fascism, what a blow to imperialism, what a blow to the ruling classes if we had a world without cages. And that's all I got. I'm just inspired by that thought, and I want it. I want it now. So, yeah, you know, it's a very, very inspiring thought. And it gets me to introducing the song. The song is called Elote. And I guess it's a good segue because how does that liberation happen? How do we get to that place? And I think we have to form a united front. I think we have to build united fronts between the Black community and the brown community and the immigrant community and the indigenous community and all those communities. We have to build a united front. And I think this song speaks well to that because of the fusion involved in the song, or it inspires that, maybe I should say. For me, as the bassist in the song, the parts that stick out for me are the cumbia and the hip hop. And to me, cumbia is very important because that's a style of music that's heard all throughout Latin America, from Mexico all the way to the tip of Argentina. And hip hop, of course, is music that originated here in the US and the Black and brown communities of the South Bronx. And, you know, I think that music helps teach each other very important lessons about each other's communities and help us understand each other. And so this is our band's contribution to that. We're speaking to any community, anyone who wants to struggle towards liberation. That's what this song is speaking to. And the fusion, again, I think is speaking to the need to build a united front so that we can get to the day where we have no cages, where we have no borders, and humanity has taken that flying leap. The working class has taken that flying leap. The oppressed classes have taken that flying leap towards liberation. So without further ado, our song is called Elote, and it's by us Pinkhawks to you.
This next song goes out to all the children in cages being sprayed by chemical warfares for living their lives in a country that doesn't want them. Like we said earlier, the wrong ice is melting. This is Elote. Elote, si quieres tú saber lo que importa en esta vida, se debe respetar a nuestra dignidad. Y la justicia tú apoyas, pero guardas el rencor a niños inocentes separados sin razón. No saben cómo sufre nuestra gente y no sabe cómo sufrimos. Son que no somos residentes y Toronto vamos a cantar. Viva mi gente, nuestro valor. Viva mi raza, no miramos el reloj. Viva mi gente, nuestro calor. Chingala, migramos del corrupto. Viva mi gente, nuestro valor. Viva mi raza, no miramos el reloj. Viva mi gente, nuestro calor. Chingala, migramos del corrupto. Elote. En vida, en muerte, lucha, gente en comunidad. Todo siempre, we come from my east, from the clay to the streets. Dream to the gods, to the march to the east. March to the feet, from the east to the south, to the west, to the north, to the back to our slide. Brown buffalo, people in need. Raíces, raíces, we come from beneath. The food that we eat is the love that we need. It comes from the need that we grew from the seed. God bless the Lote, man, feeding the streets. God bless the Lote, man, feeding the streets. Elote, montes y siete y ríos, han cruzando a regresar hasta Ruete, San Pedro en la región, manipulando toda la información, usando fuerzas armadas contra las ante el sol. No saben cómo sufre nuestra gente y no saben cómo sufrimos. Sogará que no somos resilientes. Y todos juntos vamos a bailar. Viva mi gente, nuestro valor. Viva mi raza, no olvidemos el olor. Viva mi gente, nuestro valor. Chingada mi rama del cordón. Viva mi gente, nuestro valor. Viva mi gente, no olvidemos el valor. Viva mi gente, nuestro calor. Chingada mi rama del cordón. Elote!
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, real quick, Rick, can we tell them about what this... Originally, this song was literally just about elote, right, Rick? We came at it and we gave it a first go, and all we were talking about was corn, which was maybe or maybe not a euphemism. But then we're all like, no, let's actually make this mean something. And Rick, can you talk about the pushback that you gave real quick?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think I love our music to have a social justice message always. You know, being musicians, that gives us such a unique microphone to be able to say whatever we want and speak very fiercely. You know, we're not, as musicians, we don't have to fear losing our job or anything like that because of a message that we put out. It's uncompromised, you know? So yeah, this song evolved from, I guess we hashed the idea out to get to elote as a symbol of power, as a symbol of pride for Latin American people. So that's what it is to me. That's how I saw it evolve within the band, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah, I think what the coolest part about the process of making this song was that it started off as just an idea, and then we completely transformed the song, and then it was three heads coming up with the lyrics to figure out what is the message that we're trying to give. So I only know that because I was part of the band, which I was like, yeah, oh my God.
You helped write that song, of course. Yeah.
I just want to give a shout out to Piper, who was dancing. We were having fun in the background. Thanks, y'all, for bringing the party.
Yeah. We can definitely put a link if y'all want to see that later, but we actually created a music video off of this. But what we actually wanted to do right now was essentially talk about some of the comments that have been going on in the chat in terms of the world without cages that you have been envisioning.
There have been so many beautiful things that y'all are sharing, and of course I might be missing some of them, but we'll just read a few, you know, just seeing what we can collectively imagine for this world. So I see Jordan said, a world without cages is filled with the talent and art and beauty that is currently denied freedom.
Yeah, that would be a beautiful place. I would 100% live in that world, and I'm trying to live in it now, so it's pretty great. A world without borders and care, no punishment, not punishment. I think that hits real hard.
Candy says, a world without cages looks like my neighborhood in the 90s when we played volleyball over the fences and baseball in the middle of the street with Nerf balls and front porches were bases.
Yeah, I definitely had a few of those games. I sucked at baseball, but I attempted it, and it was so fun because people would get out because they realized that you had the freedom to exist in your childhood. It was beautiful. A world without cages looks like mixed use affordable housing and hospitality, Koa Campgrounds International hostel style, along with greenway belts with gardens and space to ride bikes and play music at night instead of urban camping bands or tents outside geo walls. It's something that we're all thirsting for. It's so real, and we want to make sure that we include like the homeless community. We want to make sure that we include the BIPOC community. We want to make sure that we include the LGBTQ community, our Pan-Asian community, and everybody is a part of this. I love that.
A world without cages looks like families of all sorts knowing each other in deeper and realer ways.
A world without cages looks like a village, like the one I got a glimpse of at Standing Rock, where we shared dinner responsibilities nightly, where we trained each other on protecting each other, where we address harm that is done to the community.
All of these are beautiful. All of you are sharing such deep wisdom. Imagine if all of this wisdom created an entirely new world without cages where we were all free and lived together. I mean, beautiful, beautiful things are happening. Thank you all for chatting it in. And of course, you can keep sharing what a world without cages would look like for you. And for those of you on Facebook, you can write it in the Facebook comments. Just keep sharing with us what that looks like.
Now it's my favorite, well, not my favorite part, but I really enjoy doing this. The performances thus far have been spectacular. I really, really appreciate the heart that people are bringing in order for this event. Si usted es una persona que habla español y necesita interpretación, por favor, vaya a la página de Facebook para agarrar el número, para poder agarrar la traducción de este programa. El número es 425-436-6337.
Maybe I should have said that Alejandro was going to be like a radio show host in this new amazing world. I think it'd be great.
Yeah, I would be down for it. Up next, we have Renato, who has deep roots in the Aurora community as a DACA recipient. He's been involved with the immigrant rights group for over several years.
He is currently a leader in the Not One More deportation group, a Know Your Rights trainer, an interpreter, and a construction worker. All of the hats.
All of the hats. And in a world without cages, Renato would be doing something pretty similar to what he's already attempting to do now. But he would just be busy erasing all the current borders, literally knocking down, getting crews together to get those walls taken down.
And of course, he'd be training some peacemaker brigades to then envision this whole new world after everything is torn down.
And Renato, as we have been asking everybody, before you begin, would you mind answering the question, what does a world without cages look like or mean to you?
So actually, Renato is having some technical difficulties.
Oh,
technical difficulties!
Okay,
yeah, so
that is A-okay. Once Renato comes back, he could have his spot back. Hopefully he is able to figure that out soon. The next person that was supposed to be with us was Mr. Bobby Lefebvre, but he's not able to be with us today because he had a family emergency. So everyone take a moment and send them some good vibes.
Sending some good vibes to Bobby.
And hopefully he is doing what he figures out the situation very soon.
So yeah, this would be a great time for y'all to take a moment and write into the chat what a world without cages looks like. What are you envisioning? What are you excited about? What are you committing to doing to get there? All of those amazing, amazing things that I see over here. I already see a comment that says a world without cages looks like everyone having what they need to thrive.
Not survive, thrive. My gosh, it feels like it should be a simple concept, but for some reason it isn't. I also see a world without cages means living without fear. And
so important.
That is extremely important, and it's a real statement because a lot of people end up essentially feeling like they can't exist as their full selves within the context of this world. So getting rid of that fear would really, really help that out. What we're going to be moving to now is we're going to welcome back Jordan, who has a very short but very awesome exercise that we hope that you will be able to join us in.
Welcome, Jordan.
Welcome, Jordan.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much for having me back. Yeah, I just would like to invite you all to put a picture in the chat of yourself and finish the phrase, a world without cages, but also just to really like live into that and tell us how what it feels like. What does it taste like? What does it smell like? And that's really exciting to me to hear more about. I also wanted to announce that we are just going to go ahead and like put a call out for people to submit visuals or spoken word music in response to this question. You can send it to jpiper@afsc.org by January 1st. But what we'll do is we'll upload all of this work onto our website and feature it throughout 2021. On our social media with credit to you. So be sure to include your information on how to get at you. I also want to take this moment to invite you all to contribute to the Immigrant Freedom Fund of Colorado. You can find the link in the comments. And this is a really incredible fund, and they could really use your support right now. They literally are bonding people out of immigration jail every day. I'll just a quote from their website. Our assumption is that by bonding out one person at a time, we could make a difference in each person's life. But soon we realized we were making a difference not only in the life of each person that we bonded out, but in the lives of their families and the communities. Our message is one of hope that resistance to an oppressive system is at hand. So you can do that and just really just make that difference. So thank you so much, and I'll turn it back over to you, Tanya and Alejandro.
Thank you, Jordan. So again, everyone, if you're watching on the chat, you see the question posted up. What does this world without cages feel, taste, smell, and look like? Use all of your senses to really tell us all of the details, because if you can see the details, then we might as well be living in it, right? We can see it, we can visualize it. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and this is a call out to all individuals who call themselves artists or want to delve into the idea of artistry. I think everybody has the potential to be an artist, honestly, because for me, art is the idea of being able to reflect the world that you see, being able to dig deep inside, see how it meshes with you, and just expelling something out, whether that is through the means of words, through the means of visual images, through the means of a song. And I think everybody has that ability within them, and I hope that you will be able to join us in our call out. And so
I see that people are saying a world without cages is a world where everyone can be their best self, one where we all benefit, a world full of love. And of course, thank you all for sharing all of the details.
So we're coming towards the tail end of our program, which is really, really sad because I've really been enjoying
so much fun
being here. Small aside, I'm a peacock, so there's this bird test. And
too many details. Alejandro's very excitable.
And I love being able to talk to people. So thank you for being here alongside us. We have just one more individual that we wanted to introduce y'all to. But before I do, if you are a person que habla español y necesita interpretación, por favor, marque el número 425-436-6337 para poder agarrar una interpretación del programa completo.
And up next, we have Wayne Watts, who is the co-founder of the Dream, Create, Inspire Tour.
With over 10 years of experience working with youth, he is committed to empowering young people by providing them with transferable skills in order to be successful in the real world.
And in a world without cages, Wayne would definitely be the host of hosts.
Of hosts. He would just be the number one host. And the reason why we think this is because within the work that he's been doing for over 10 years and what he continues to do, we feel like he just wants to make everyone feel welcome and a part of this community. And so we appreciate the work that you have been doing and will continue to do. And so before you begin,
can you answer, what does a world without cages look like or mean to you?
Man, so a world without cages looks like uncompromising creativity. It looks like shared knowledge without barriers. It looks like all the greatness and gold that Black and brown communities create. And it looks like it has to happen right now. So without further ado, I'm proud to present me, Brianna Anye, and Renika Cox performing for you guys today.
Voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea.
Check one, check two. We live? Hey, wherever you at right now, thank you for tuning in. So we decided on these times to give you the best of us. First off, we're gonna start with this. Sing with us. It's like, hey, breathe in life,
breathe in life,
breathe out loud,
breathe out loud,
breathe in life,
breathe in life,
breathe out loud,
breathe out loud,
breathe in life,
breathe in life,
breathe out loud,
breathe out loud,
breathe in life,
breathe in life,
breathe out loud,
breathe out loud.
Life ain't sweet, but it ain't always sour. My nephew taught me how a seed can grow into a flower. I smoked my girl and told the world I think the world is ours. Just important is having knowledge, is feeling empowered. Fist up to all my Black queens that go to Howard, and all my new leaders that go up copping. Look, it's Black Lives Matter, man. We all about it. And if you saying all knives, then you part of the problem. Look, that's such poor taste, like a bad palate. Would you rather me use a bullet or me use a ballot? Either way, my favorite teacher taught me stop complaining. Life has its ups and downs, but it's still a trip worth taking. And I'm 10 flights up. Haven't slept in like a month, feel like that's 10 nights up. But this morning I feel great. This morning I feel faith. This morning I feel faith that opened a new gate. So I'm thankful for everything that ends up on the plate. And I'm running through any entity that's in the way. I won't stop until my city yell, hey. Now rest in peace to Ali, but we never got to meet. Part of your spirit lives in me. I treat rap like it's the ring. Got much bigger things. One dimension won't accurately define my legacy. I got the thoughts of the legends. God sent them down from heaven in the flash of a second. It was destined for me. So I wrote it from my notes and put it in the code and gave the key to anybody else who got a dream. So if you feel disrespected, then my method's too aggressive. We no longer taking suggestions. Leave a message at the beat. Breathe in life.
Breathe in life.
Breathe out loud.
Breathe out loud.
So breathe in life.
Breathe in life.
Breathe out loud.
Breathe out loud.
So breathe in life.
Breathe in life.
Breathe out loud.
Breathe out loud.
Breathe in life.
Breathe in life.
Breathe out loud.
Breathe.
And my only goal was to go and make it. Somewhere down the line, I know I must have grown complacent. Looked in the mirror, so hard for me to try and face it. I wouldn't be lying if I said I hate it. I wouldn't be lying if I said I faked it. Maybe I just needed something to pass the time with. I just needed better reasons to rationalize it. But that was outdated. And it's back outfaded, inundated with new tale instead of Dennis waiting. If I said it wrong, or even if you hate my cadence, the inner workings of my inner greatness won't allow any mid-mortal or mortal man to penetrate it. Sorry for my lateness, but you've been waiting, and it's all mental. Look, we ain't talking, that's just venting over instrumentals. If it ain't a hit, call it an incidental. No insurance needed. We started in the bleachers, now I'm floor seated. Spending happy hours at the Four Seasons. I'm in the mountains for a month. What's a weekend? I just need to get away, or maybe find a better way. Giving up for the worst, still hoping for the better days. Let us pray before the war escalates. One time, please don't lose the fight. Please don't lose your voice. Please don't give up now, cause we ain't got a choice. Cause while they parents retired, both of them are surgeons. Yours just got fired, and and mine's still working, so I'm still working, painting pictures not perfect, repurpose, deep urges resurface, so the sky is the limit, and I die till I get it, cause it's all worth it. Hey, for my family, it's all worth it, and for the ones who couldn't see it, may your light shine down. Not even daylight savings can set us back now. Dedicated to anybody who had to play the background, dedicated to anybody who ain't never back down. Last thing I want to right now, before I put the mic down, I want you to find the clock, stare at it for a nice while. Don't care what year or day it is. If it's dark or light out, the time to make a difference doesn't switch. It's always right now. Breathing light, breathing light, breathe out loud, breathe out loud. So breathe the light, breathing light, breathe out loud, breathe out loud. So breathing light, breathing light, breathe out loud, breathe out loud. So breathe the light, breathing light. Breathe out loud. Breathe out loud. It's like listen, hey, so breathe in light. Breathe in light. And breathe out love. Breathe out love. First you breathe in light. Breathe in light. Then you breathe out love. Breathe out loud. You gotta breathe in light. Breathe in light. And then you breathe out love. Breathe out love. So breathe in light. Breathe in light. Breathe out love. Breathe out loud. Yeah, man, that's what you gotta do, man. In these times, man, right? Like, it's essential, man. Like, mindfulness is essential. Like, making sure y'all taking care of each other on that and taking care of yourself. This next record I want to dedicate to anybody who's no longer here with us. We love you, and we miss you, and we know it's not forever. We know that your energy is still here, it's still present. The song is called Across the Street from Heaven. So.
Oh, yeah. Said every step I take, and every move I make, every single day, every prayer I pray, I'll be missing you. Wish I could run up the street to you in heaven. Wish I could live across the creek from you in heaven. Sometimes I think about the things we could do in heaven. Hey, maybe one day soon in heaven. Wish I could run up the street too.
I got this tendency to search through every memory, try and find an energy that tell me that it's meant to be. Before the reaper sent for me and the government censored me, with the land of my enemies, bust it down into entities, deep throat, C note, string along with the Tiffany, string a bell to the Kennedys, sold my soul for amenities, brought it back for my inner peace. This for my inner peace, turn all, I learn more from epiphanies than classroom. Backdoor deals taught from glass rooms, alchemy lessons manifested, tested in bathrooms, stress room, circle around the eye like a raccoon. My ego tripped out like Marvin springing in Cancun, cause mid-June last year, sacrifice 2 whole dimensions, Bayou tales, the lust spinning, turn to trust in it, trust women. Hey, especially if they black, it's red light diamond, especially when we ride to you.
In heaven, wish I could run across the creek to you in heaven. Sometimes I think about the things we could do in heaven, till I see you in heaven. Wish I could run up the street.
I get my power from the infinite, soul shining limitless, every word derivative of my native tongue, spew bars through the dimension shifts and separate the predicament of me putting my afterword with the tip of it. Iceberg slim, and you really sweet for the trick of it. Thriller in Manila, gorilla Georgia, the flip of it. Snatched out the chain, downplayed the whip, the drip came out my bag. Hey, dummy, look, we we the shit. Hedged hard the game, outfox the slick. Rope a dope the ring, cause they only strong for 6. We incline like Manitou, realign for gratitude in my mind. P, melanated, the better moves, meditated, elevated, just to feel a rush now. Dreams turn real when might be's turn to must now. Spirit heard from legends, and they said I speak for us now. How black don't crack, and how gold don't rust now. From you.
In heaven, wish I could live across the creek from you. In heaven, sometimes I think about the things we could do. In heaven, oh, till I see you. In heaven, wish I could run up the street to you. Yeah. Oh, wish I could run up the street. What a bond to break, what a life to take. I'll be missing you, yeah. Wish I could run up the street to you in heaven. I can't wait till I live across the creek from you in heaven. Sometimes I think about the things we could do in heaven. Hey, till I see you in heaven. Oh, I'll be missing you.
We love you. And like I said, man, you're here forever. So the energy that you left, that never dies. It lives in us. And it's always a rebirth. So thank you for the legacy that you paved and for inspiring us to keep going. Man, that's real, man. That's real, man. So also in these times, man, we gotta make sure we shine light on love. You feel me? You know what I mean? So like I was telling them behind the scenes, man, like the reason it's called my favorite song, you feel me? But at the same time, it literally became my favorite song because it's a lyric in here like I made like before I had my daughter. And then I had my daughter and I'm like, oh man, this is even better. Like, so we be singing it and I do the little dance and she starts smiling. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah, this is a song for anybody that's in love, any type of love, you know what I mean? So play this in the background and make memories. So it's like this. Hey, you like my favorite song, play you all over again. You got me all up at night, so late on again. You got me all up at night, so late on again. It's a hell of a lie, it's a hell of a sin. Let me get back to them. Play like spatula, flip it like spatula. Now whip it like arrow. Ay, when we coming up, ay, these bluffers bluffing now. Ay, they don't go hard enough. Ay, or stay on their job enough. Ay, came from the bottom, man. Well, we had it too. Guaranteed that you know now. Nobody better do. Ay, nobody better know. Whoever they never knew. You were like better me. I am like better you. Ay, you like my favorite song. Play it all over again. You got me all up at night. So lay down again. You got me all up at night. So lay down again. It's a hell of a lie. It's a hell of a sin. Play you all over again. Ay, play you all over again. Ay, wanna have a little baby girl and play all over again. And we really made us a baby girl and we play all over again. And take her home again and put her on road again. Ay, we did enough again. Your last one was bluffing it. He kept on fumbling. Well, I just recovered it. Got it like something, man. Nah, or maybe like something, bro. Look, they should tag us some pictures now. Why? We just tagged up the world. Ay, play me all over again. Play me all over again. Took me really just a while. Took the Nissan to a Benz. I'm gonna take the Nissan to a Benz. Ay, and take the 1-1 to some twins. Ay, you could take what you would take. Ay, 800 million, we gon' flip. Cause, you like my favorite song. Play it all over again. You got me all up at night. So lay down again. You got me all up at night. Yeah, just
late out again.
It's a hell of a life. It's a hell of a sin.
You like my favorite song, play it all over again. You got me all up at night, just to lay down again. You got me all up at night, just to lay down again. Yeah, it's a hell of a life, it's a hell of a sin. Yeah, hey, because your love is amazing. And I can't explain it. I want this forever. Does it sound crazy? Baby, tell me you need me. Oh, that never changes. For better or worse comes, let's go where it takes us. Cause your love is amazing.
You like my favorite song?
Play it all over again.
You got me all up at night. Yeah.
Just to lay down again. You got me all up at night. Just to lay down again.
It's a hell of a life. Yeah, it's a hell of a sin. Hey, you got my favorite song. You
play it all over again.
You got me all up at night. Yeah,
just to lay down again.
You got me all up at night. Yeah.
Just to lay down again. Yeah.
It's a hell of a life. Yeah.
It's a hell of a sin. Yeah, yeah.
Man. Yeah, man. Hey, man, I told y'all that's like my favorite drink right there. I ain't gonna hold you. I smile in the middle of it. I was in the middle of it like, oh, man. You know what I mean? So it's that's really, really special. So take care of the ones you love. The last one we gonna do tonight, man, is really important. Can I have a minute of your time? You feel me? Like, I want to say this. Make sure, no matter when you live in, whatever generation watches this, whatever dimension you in right now, tuning in, to honor you. So when you wake up in the morning, it's the first thing you should do. Is thank you for you. I mean, so I'll let the legendary Breon Wright start this off. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, thank you for me. I woke up this morning like, thank you for me. Thank you for me. I woke up this morning like, thank you for me. Yeah. Ooh. Woke up this morning like, thank you for me. Yeah. Hey, I woke up this morning like, thank you for me. Looked in my mirror like, thank you for me. Thank you for me. Thank you for me. Woke up this morning like, thank you for me. Oh,
listen.
Yeah. Thank you for me.
Hey. I woke up this morning like, thank you for me. Hey, baby. Hey, I'm like, thank you for me. Yeah. Hey, I woke up this morning like, thank you for me. All right. It's my favorite verse on the whole thing. It's like this. Listen. Hey, y'all. Listen. The legends know I'm on the rise. City know I'm toe to toe. Last month I wrote some rhymes. Last week I did some shows. Yesterday I made a plan strategically to change the globe. That's what y'all was gonna say. I'm crossing off all my goals. Open up my heart and through my scars you seen them overflow. Close my eyes at night. Sometimes the years they tend to overload. Every memory and sensory. It's like an overdose. Get high off energy from the spirit. Feel like they Holy Ghost communicate through changes and cadence. Like they know me close. Fire on sight, broad daylight. You show me smoke. Inspire all types for all life. You sold me hope. I bag it up and flip it. Double it and just let it float. Double down on best and just head it out on the lonely road. The mountain highs, the valley lows, the jump shots, the crooked rims and alley goals. Alameda, Trumpville, with green from Cali and a rustic calico. I&J, let them know it's time to write. Like Corey now. Look, I pray for my joy now. Hard work, that's the story now. I think I learned to turn shame into glory now. I said it's time to write. Like Corey now. Look, I pray for my joy now. Hard work, that's the story now. I think I learned to flip shame into glory now.
Thank you for me. Yeah.
Hey.
I woke up this morning like, thank you for me. Oh, thank you for me. Ooh, woke up this morning like, thank you for me.
Hold up. Listen, look, I'm from a town where they tell you never make it. And if you do it different, then brothers gonna try and hate it. Tell you that you was faking. Triggers get pulled from anger. Body get left on pavement. Blood leaking out alleys. Xannies keep us sedated. We are, yeah, still rooted in the elements. But heaven only knows if I did this for the hell of it. But trust it, I discovered my own revelations and wrote a book of theories up for your interpretation. Now you can ask whatever, really ain't no stipulations. It's on the record, you can check whatever altercation. Every plan I had manifested into action. Now money is the motive, but it's never satisfaction. Look, we just had a hadage just to get our point across. To thread the needle from a regal to a pointed cost. No return, you better learn this way your cash at. But don't be surprised when we ask for liquid assets. New publishing deal, Chanel Tanner could craft that. Joy Marie could write that. Jason Reynolds could stamp that. Return on investment, crowdfunded and cash act. To cut the interest rate and had dummy, we passed that. It's time to rain like Corey now. Look, I pay for my joy now. Hard work, that's a story now. I think I learned to flip shame into glory now. I said it's time to rain like Corey now. Look, I pay for my joy now. Hard work, and that's the story now. I think I learned to flip shame into glory now.
Thank you for me. I woke up this morning, I thank you for me. Baby, thank you for me. Ooh, woke up this morning, I thank you for me.
Hey, Bree, I got one for her. It's like this, listen. Hey, I wanna thank you for letting me
Be myself again.
Baby, I wanna thank you for letting me
Be myself
again. One more time, like, I wanna thank you for letting me
be myself
again. Again. Hold up, listen, cause I'm like, thank you for me. I woke up this morning like, thank you for me, baby. I'm like, thank you for me. I woke up this morning like, thank you for me, baby. Thank you. Y'all take care of each other. I think that's it.
That's it.
Renee Cox on keys, Breon Wright on vocals, Wayne Watts on MCing, books on display, niggas in the background probably lifting some weights or something, some shit like that. My man Brian in the building, you feel me? All of that. Y'all be safe, man. Take care of each other. Deuces.
Woo!
That was amazing.
I woke up this morning like, thank you for me. That is
Gonna be stuck in our heads
forever. And also, that is literally the way that we should be envisioning a world without cages, where we're literally just free to be ourselves, you know, where we can wake up every single morning and say, thank you for me. Thank you for the freedom that I have and that I hold. And so thank you, Wayne, for allowing the space to share your art. Like, you're thanking us, we're thanking you for that breath of art, of living within yourself and just sharing a piece of your art.
And thank you to everyone, all of our amazing artists that were here today. We would not have this great new world without all of your amazing music and art and poetry, spoken word, all of the things. We appreciate you. And thank you to AFSC for having us.
Yeah, thank you, Piper,
Hashtag
for holding it back in the back.
Yeah.
If you want some shirts, get a hold of AFC. Their information is there. If you want to know how to get a hold of people, how to take action, please look into the comments. They're providing all of that information. And free them all, free them all, free them all.
And remember to submit your art. What Jordan said about making sure you can feel it, you can taste it, you can see what the world would look like without cages, to jpiper@afsc.org.
Thank y'all.
Thanks, wonderful MCs.
Absolutely.